All right, so our topic today, considering is January 2nd, so we got it as close to the new year as we could get it. I'm titling this New Year, Same Us. My pet peeve is New Year's resolutions. I hate them not because they're bad, I get it. Like if somebody follows it, that's cool. Like my thing is if you have a goal that you want to accomplish, don't wait till the first of the year to start it, just start it.
I agree.
So most of my goals that I'll take my going to the gym goal. That started like October something, like some random day in October. It literally was just like, I'm going today, and that started. And I didn't sit there and like, I'm gonna go in 3 months from now. Now, do I start like business goals for the year, like effective yesterday as like tracking them? Yes. I mean, I established my goals at the end of last year, prepping because of the fiscal year for real estate, but my numbers actually get wiped away and started for the first. So I just do that more because that's how all the like accounting and all that stuff would work. But at like personal goals, no, I don't just restart. So that's why I put New Year, Same Us. Could be a better us, but it's not like I hate the New Year, New You thing. Like that's
I
stupid.
agree. Yeah.
Am I wrong on that?
No, I'll start a year with kind of goals. Like by the end of the year, I would like to have improved in this.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't wait until like, I'm going to wait January 1st, I'm going to start for real. Like,
Yeah.
if I have an interest in doing something or bettering myself, like it's a constant process. I'm continuously working on things that I want to get better on. Now I have goals that I have, by the end of the year, I'd like to see this happen or see that happen, but I don't start working on them on the first.
What about you, Jordy?
Yeah, I agree. I think like you said, going to the gym, I just started in December, but I wasn't like, oh no, I'm gonna wait until January 1st and give myself 3 more weeks of doing nothing.
Yeah.
But I think like you can have things that you'd like to accomplish within the new year.
I agree.
That said though, not to like crap on people who do start on January 1st, because there is a certain like, I imagine it's easier to get motivated for like January 1st, I'm fucking doing it, you know what I mean? I don't work that way, but I can see setting a date and being like, this is the goal, January 1st, I'm going to start doing this, and like listing it out. I can see, like that absolutely works for some people, there's like nothing wrong with that. I don't like waiting to start something.
No, I agree. I came in here, did you notice the whiteboard's completely bare?
Yes.
I don't like it.
Whoa. No, I had a whiteboard. I for some reason in December, as I was getting to December, got really overwhelmed with a lot of stuff. Not bad stuff, just there was too many distractions for me. So I'm really trying, like one of my goals, which I didn't start at January 1st, I literally started this last month, was I tried to simplify stuff, and I'm trying to do it the best I can. I love the system that I had, but the problem was when I put stuff up there, what happened was it was overflowing, so then it went to other lists, which the whole purpose was to get everything off those lists onto one board. Well, then I kind of looked at it as I have everything up there, but then I know there's other stuff in my emails and my notes and scrap pieces of paper on a notepad and all this stuff that I did not want to have in those locations. So I basically said I'm just going to take everything off that board. I typed them all up, they're on sheets of paper, and just like go rogue and just erase the whole thing. But I'm going to throw them in a box. And if you look way up there, there's a box that says projects to work on. Pretty much everything is going. I have some stuff in my book bag right now that are the things I kind of want to go through to work on now, like the essential things that are like the big ticket items that I want to do that are going to give us the biggest ROI. Everything else is going in that box because I can't do everything all at once. So I want to just like work through like 5 kind of major goals and get them implemented, get them done, and then just go. And one at a time, but really have a very short list, and then try to get those all done by like the first quarter. And then it's like perfect. I just took out like 20 different items off that board just by doing those things, and then start going into the other stuff, which is actually going to should be in theory less ROI productive stuff, but I'll have more time to do it, and the bigger systems will be in place. So this will be kind of little supplements to the bigger projects. Mm-hmm. So that was I guess my cleanse of scattered stuff. So I'm trying to get better at that and trying to organize a lot of things going forward. So Jordy, we're going to start with you. What's your what goals do you have for 2000? I'm not gonna call them resolutions, but like goals are different than resolutions. So like, what's your goal for 2020? I know we went over a few of them, but anyone's, you don't have to share them, but if there's stuff you don't mind sharing, go ahead.
Graduate college. Hopefully.
Your parents will be happy about that, so good job.
Hopefully I don't fail any last minute classes. I said I wanted to join a club at Plattsburgh State. So I still have to find one.
Ultimate Frisbee.
Comic book club.
Oh yeah.
Ew.
Rude.
You were definitely in a comic book club, weren't you?
I was.
That was a thing. I don't even think that's a thing.
It's a
at
thing.
Plattsburgh.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
I guarantee you it's a thing. If it was a thing back when comic books weren't as cool as they are now, it's definitely a thing now.
I guarantee it's a thing.
It's a thing.
At Plattsburgh State.
It's probably not an
Yes,
official.
I was in it at Plattsburgh State.
It's probably not an official. Is it an official group, like a recognized group, or is it just a couple nerds in like a dorm
I
room?
think it was.
Is it just a bunch
It
of?
was a real group.
Is it a bunch of Ellies in the
It was-
blue room just hanging out on the
It was
sofa?
a real group. There's also a hiking group that was a lot of fun.
There's also
Like a Peaks.
a zombie club. or
Yeah,
whatever.
they're weird. You think comic books are weird? You think comic books are weird?
Relax.
They throw
Weird.
socks at each other. They had that at
Well-
Potsdam, and sometimes I get caught between them, and it was not fun.
Why socks?
The socks are like bombs.
There you
Oh
go.
my.
You had to hit them with a
Are they
sock.
clean or are they dirty? If they're
Yes.
dirty, I could say gym socks.
Yeah, it depends.
That's weird. Okay, so Jordy's gonna join the zombie club. What else you gonna do?
Yeah.
You hit
I
Jake.
wanted to start going to the gym more, so I got a gym membership.
And how often have you been going?
My goal is 3 times a week.
And how often have you been going?
Well, less.
Not that.
No,
Okay, we'll work up to it. That's all right. Takes time. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Ellie?
My biggest thing, I guess biggest 2 things is I want to get more organized. This is really like trash person thing to admit, and it drives John insane. I have a box that has mail in it, and some of it's over a year old, and I'm sure some of it is bills. And like I have an amazing credit score, nothing's gone to collections, but I get stressed when I have a lot of stuff to do, and so I don't do it. That's how I deal with my stress. Is I'm just like, I'm just gonna shove it in the corner. So I have a box of mail.
Shove it up your butt.
Shove it up your butt. So I have a box of mail, and that just needs to be gone through. And that's just kind of a metaphor for like a lot of little things in my life that just need to be done, but I've been putting it off because I'm very stressed by the stuff that I've been putting off, which is building more stress, which is making me put it off more. So I just want to become more organized, and I also want to work on my mechanisms for dealing with stress, because life is stressful, and while I consider myself a high functioning person and I do a lot of stuff, I do sometimes bite off too much and say I'm going to do too much, and then I get overwhelmed, and then I don't do any of it because I'm overwhelmed. So I just need to learn to deal with that stuff better and say no if I don't have to do something and I don't think I have time to do it, not feel like I have to, and just say no.
Like stressed out meaning too much to do.
Yeah, like if I have
Not stress like a situational stress. but-
situational stress I typically deal quite well with. I just if I have a lot of stuff to do and I'm a perfectionist, so it has to be done perfectly, I don't know where to start, and then I get overwhelmed, and then I don't do any of it because I'm just like, It's a really horrible mechanism, and it's
The best
gotta work on it.
The best thing I've ever found for stress of getting stuff done, because this happens to me somewhat, well actually I shouldn't say somewhat, it does happen to me, is I try to do what I just did, because that was stressing me out, but not a bad stress, but yeah, just simplifying it down.
It's like loud stress. That's how it's like
Yeah.
a lot of noise in your head.
Yeah, so what I really try to do, if that's the case, is strip it down to its basic, literally down to like one task. There's times where I'll come in here, not even here, I will go in the conference room, because the one thing I like about the conference room, and I will do this eventually when I get a big boy desk, because my desk is tiny.
It's a baby desk.
It really is pathetic. I gotta get a bigger one. But but what I'll do, like if I really want to get work done, it's honestly typically like a Sunday morning. Nobody's here, nobody's calling, emailing, texting. I will come here like early in the morning, like 6 a.m. and I'll go sit at the conference table. I will take whatever I want to work on and just put it on the table, and that's it. Like there's nothing else. I'm not going to come here. I don't have to look at stuff on the boards. I don't have to look at, our conference room is pretty bare.
Yeah, it is.
So I'll just, that's how I kind of like it, simplistic, and we can just sit at the table. if it's a notepad and some paperwork, whatever it is, it's the one thing I really just have to do. And I sit down, no distractions, and I do it. So then I'm not getting like that noise around me, like, well, like kind of like this bunch of squirrels or whatever. And
It's
it's
ADD.
like, yeah, it's like stuff on the board. Like, wait, am I missing? Like, I'm always one, like, what am I missing? So I'll like reread the list 10 times, be like, no, idiot, just do the one thing.
Well, I'll be doing it, and then I'll be like, oh, but I also have to do this, and then I don't want to forget that thing, so I start doing that thing, and then
Yeah.
I have a bunch of half-finished projects, and yeah, so I want to be more organized in my life in general, and I also have been trying very hard to get back into the gym, because I used to be, all of my clothes are baggy on me now. I used to be a lot thicker, I guess, stronger.
Preach.
And I miss it. And it also sucks coming in here every Wednesday and feeling like, hey, I'm still going to the gym and counting my macros. So I gotta get on it.
Hardcore, like
You're so proud of yourself.
October,
I need to get that pride.
it's almost 3 months, and I bet you I've tracked every day but 5 probably in 3 months.
You've been killing it. I'm proud of you.
And I've been to the gym 5 days a week, probably 4 to 5 days a week every week for probably 3 months.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so doing well. I feel much better.
Yeah.
And I've stretched almost every day, probably a week,
That's
like in total.
equally important.
Yeah, I've been stretching a
You've
lot.
stretched a total of 7 days.
Nope, not stretch a total of 7 days.
Oh.
No, I stretch probably 6 days a week.
That's
7 I
awesome.
shoot for, but like there's like one day here or there I don't get to it, but
No, that's super awesome.
yeah, I stretch quite a bit now.
Old you thanks you for that.
I'm 30 now, by the way, so
Old you.
new decade.
My dad can't touch his knees.
What?
He's okay. In his defense, he's also broken both of them.
Can't touch his knees?
He can't touch his knees.
Like standing, I'm assuming standing straight.
I'm standing up.
Yeah, kind of chair like.
No,
Yeah, but-
no. Standing up though, he can't touch his knees.
Really?
Yeah,
Does he got like
that's-
back problems?
Yeah, he's broken almost every bone in his body.
Wow, okay.
But it's also largely because he doesn't stretch and
Yeah.
he lifts weights and he doesn't stretch, and that turns into someone who can't touch their knees.
I do it now because I just find that it's. I mean, I know I'm 30. I don't want to say like I'm old, but like as you get older, like I already can feel the effects of not warming up. Things aren't as loose as they used to be, and things are a little more like knees and hips and things are a little more like grindy as you like try to do motion. So I'm really big on stretching right now for those purposes, and I feel better.
Good.
Any other goals?
I mean, I have real estate goals. I had said I wanted to double my sales for this past year. But I think I'm not gonna give myself a numerical goal. I just want to do, I guess it is a numerical goal. I just want to do better than last year, no matter what it is. I want to do better than last year, and I want to be more organized with real estate too, because stuff just falls through the cracks sometimes. And part of it is I don't want to beat myself up because I know that I have other stuff going on and I have another job, but I want to be more organized with real estate because I don't want this to be my part-time job for the next 10 years. So I just want to focus more on building that, and whether it's with clients or not, just building that and building my connections in the community and stuff, and keep doing, because I think last year I definitely got out a lot more, and I feel very at home here, even though I haven't been here very long, so I really want to like drive that home this year and just get bigger in the community and get to know people and get to do more for the community. And I think that will help me in business, but also just, it's good to be a part of the community.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. My goals last year, I'm a pretty number driven person. I'm a mixture. I'm number driven because I like that there's a number to hit. Meaning it's not like a subjective goal. Like I want it to be like a concrete goal, like a yes or no, you did it or didn't. Because I find that sometimes if I put a goal that does not have like a metric to follow, I can get into the effect of like, well, I think I did it, and maybe deep down that you actually didn't pull it off. And I've had a couple of those before where I'm like, you know what, that's not a very measurable goal. I want to have something that I can measure. So my goals every year are pretty lofty in the sense that I really challenge myself. And I think I typically try to grow my business 20% every year. And I've been doing that now for 4 or 5 years. I think the first year I did that, I grew 30%. The second year, I wanted 20% growth of that. I did 40%. Then I wanted 20% growth of that. I had another 30%. And then I wanted 20% growth of that, which this year I actually just hit my goal. I literally hit my goal 2 days before Christmas, so which is cool. I mean, I got my goal. But I always look at it like my goal being higher. Like if I just was to miss it, I still was better than last year because it's a 20% increase. So it's like if I didn't make my goal, I would have grown by 18.5% or something. So it was very close, but there's just something, there's something good about hitting that number. So like on my board I have, and it's not by volume. I really don't, I mean, we get paid off of volume, meaning the amount that's sold, but I really look at how many units I'm doing. Like that's more important to me. I have no control over the price range. Yes, I know people could argue, we could try to target higher people. Like I get it, like brilliant idea. Like nobody's ever, but you know, it's the idea that it's very tough to do. I'm 30. A lot of my target, I mean, I say target market, but a lot of my friends, a lot of my sphere, like those people, they're not buying the $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 homes as frequent as maybe agents that have been doing this for 30 years and in their 40s and 50s. I just hit 30, so I'm like, I'm cool. Like I'm good. I will get to that level, and I'm already starting to deal with higher priced homes, which is nice. And a lot of that just comes from merit, not necessarily my age. But as I grow older, those will now become more frequent because my friends will be in a position now they own those homes versus my friends that are just starting out buying their starter home, which is cool. So I never look at the volume. My dollar amount or my units this year, this is probably going to be my last year where I think I'm going to have a unit goal that's substantially higher than it was the year before. Meaning I'm getting to the point at the company that I know I'm going to have to take a step back from the production aspect of myself day to day to focus more on the company. And I'm about a year away from doing that. My goal this year is 69 units. That actually was 20% from last year.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. But that is my goal for this coming year, 2020. I looked at the stats all the way back to 2011 when I started. I have not seen an agent hit that number ever in 10 years.
69?
69. The highest I actually saw was 67, which is freaking impressive. That? Tina Covey, which was impressive. So, and she's such a baller.
Phenomenal,
yeah, she's such a baller. So, she was one of. We tied this year in units, me and her, which I find I will take that because she has dominated the market. And unit wise, or volume wise, she was number 1 and I was number 3. But I was number 2 in units, tied with her, so I will take that on both of them. But which is cool. I mean, there's no surprise. My goal by year 10, I wanted to have number 1 in both units and volume. That's a goal I set out 10 years ago, and I'm a year away. And I'm pretty darn sure if I hit that number, I'll have both of them.
Number 1 by next year?
By next year. It was by the end of my 10th year.
Is Tina gonna retire?
I don't want her.
Just kidding.
No, this is oddly the way I am. I don't want I don't want her to retire because I want to be able to say I'm number 1 with like some like high end. Oh yeah, I don't want it easy. Like I want it tough. Like I really want it. Like I hope she gets 68 and I can. No, I mean realistically, I'm big on. I don't really care what other agents do. Yes, I'm aware of what agents do. I'm not like naive. I see the stats. I know exactly where every agent in the county or the county, but the board. I mean, there's obviously we do some stuff out of the county. Where everybody stands. So I mean, there's not like I know how much production you do.
Yeah.
I literally look at them in the beginning of the month and toss them. I'm like, okay, cool, and toss them. Like I'm not influenced by other people on the outside, meaning like the way they do it. I'm just so focused on what I do, and for me, I've done pretty darn well. That's why I know at the end of my 10th year, if I can hit those numbers, which I really think I can do, even though it's really that's high. It'll be cool. So that's my numerical goal. My business goals, even more, is I want to grow the company. We did 19 mil and change this year for 159 units, which was about a 30% increase from last year, which is phenomenal for us. My goal this year is I want to have the office sell 200 units,
that's doable.
Which is about a 25 to 30% increase as an office total. And then dollar amount wise, I wanted to increase to 25 mil, which I believe we can all do. Our office is going to be big this year. It's going to be about triple the size as it was about 2 years ago. So I'm excited about that. But with that becomes a lot more responsibility on training and just everybody, people are at different levels. There's gonna be very new people, and then you guys in year 2, and there's some people in year 3 and year 10, and so it's that is the next transition of how do I really establish some really good systems. I have good systems. I have pretty good systems for myself. I'd say they're very good, but I'm very critical.
They're very good for you.
They are, but they can be better. And I'm one where I'm always striving to get better. So like most people look at them like they're fine. I'm looking at them like I just know them so well that I can see the flaws that need to be changed. Yeah, they can be improved. And as a whole within the office, because this is definitely a new thing for me, is I'm really trying to do that for other agents so you guys can have basically easier for you guys to replicate. So I that's one of my big projects, and I'm kind of, it's an overwhelming thing because you look at it, but then I'm really excited to do it because once they start getting in place, like I can see the pieces of the puzzle coming together, and it'll be really, really cool. So, and that is my business goals. Personal goals, I mean, I don't really set a lot of personal goals. I mean, I do, those are personal goals, but I mean, like, go to the gym, stay active. I try to spend as much time as I can with my kids, weekends and evenings. So those are kind of my things.